Welcome, listeners. I'm so thankful that you're here today in this new year. I can't even believe it. It's gone fast in some ways and then, like, sometimes kind of slow in others. So, I always love the new year, and I hope that you do too. It's like a rebirth and a starting point. So, and it's interesting. What I'm going to talk about today kind of hit me over the head when I was, how I'm working on that book, and it's so fun. And thanks to Bob Goff, I have all these great stories that he made me write. And I was looking at one of my stories, and then I was learning from it still now. That's why journaling is so fun, and I highly recommend it. But today I want to talk about and what I learned from my story, which I'll share with you. I want to talk about, why do we do things that we know we don't want to and that go totally against us, totally against what we know to be true inside? And, you think when you hear that, well, of course I don't go against. I set boundaries. It became so clear to me in this story that I wrote, and you will giggle because it was kind of funny. So, and I have to tell you, I hurt my tailbone, so I'm going to be a little wiggly today, which is another part of why do we do things when we know that we don't want to or we shouldn't. Okay. So, picture this. Years ago, it's like 31 years ago. And we're flying out with my whole family. We have one baby at that time, baby Abigail, and we're flying out with my brother and his baby and my parents. We're going to stay in beautiful Hawaii, which was always a wonderful trip. I mean, we love Hawaii, and we were there, and we thought, okay, let's do snorkeling one day. So we got tickets for this little snorkeling boat that would take you out and give you lunch, and then you'd come back, and we were able to bring the babies. And so I had, Abigail in her little car seat, and we got there, and we were all kind of looking because there were like red flags, no surfing today, and the waves were ginormous, and it was really bad. There were surf warnings that you could just see. It was not going to be good. And we stood there with a lot of other people who were going on the boat, and we're all like kind of looking around, and we paid a lot of money. And then the captains, who were probably, maybe not even college age, were like, oh no, we're going out. We'll go try to find some, you know, stiller waters. So you're looking at that. You're looking at your baby in the car seat. You're seeing these ginormous waves. From your experience that you can't really snorkel in waves, but you paid the money and everybody else is going. So we all kind of look at each other and we're like, okay, well, let's go. So we get on this boat. It was the wildest ride I've ever been on, I think. And it's funny because my dad and I love roller coasters. Nobody else does. So there were moments where we would be sitting out there watching, and we're like, this is kind of fun. My concern was for my baby who was in the car seat, because you just are like, is this safe? But you're like with everyone else, you're like, oh yeah, it's safe. Well, it became like the barfarama. And my poor mom she's just like perfect, right? Like all women were that are her age. And she's not one that I don't want to throw up in front of someone. She doesn't want to throw up even more in front of someone. That's a private matter. Well, we're on this boat. Everyone's throwing up. My mom has been like, I don't know. She's had motion sickness since birth. So she's sick. But this is the thing. I think on this whole boat, probably with 40 people, my dad and I were maybe the only ones that didn't throw up. So anyway, my husband and I go kind of down below, and we're sitting there and rocking, and my baby Abby threw up her banana that I fed her before we left. So then you're like, this is bad. So we're sitting there and we're just feeling like, what are we doing? And then how it kind of becomes like you could get silly. Okay, so my husband and I both at the same time, our eyes are drawn to this darling older lady with short gray hair, in a muumuu. You know how old, I mean, she had to be in her 80s. She got her muumuu on and she got a big 5-gallon bucket between her legs and the whole family's there and we're all rocking and she is sick and she takes her dentures, pulls them out and just it continues to throw up and then she catches our eyes and she looks over at us and she just starts smiling and laughing and we like belly rolled. I mean, it was hysterical. We will never forget it. It was the best memory on that darn boat. Okay, so then they bring us out to the still water. It wasn't still. And it looked like, I don't know, not chocolate milk, but like that consistency. So I jumped in and tried. There was nothing to be seen. Got back on the boat, and we're all sitting there trying to like get our, sea legs on, and then they go lunchtime. I mean, they went through everything, and nobody ate. I didn't even eat, except there was this little boy. I don't know, he was probably like 6 or 7. He goes running by me with a burger, and it's just this crazy. And then he's just tossing his cookies all over us, right? Right as he runs by. It was so disgusting. And do you know, they did not give us our money back? And because I'm the attorney in the family, I'm nice. I'm a mediator, but I had to write the letter. I think it was really hard. And I think I didn't want to like go to court. I think they gave us half our money back. Are you kidding me? So, okay, that one I'm going to go, all right, it was kind of worth the memories. Maybe it was. It's a funny memory of the trip. But why did we go? We all knew it wasn't going to be a good scene. But it's just like you're just like in with these people and you just go. Okay, so it's so interesting. So this has been a week ago now that I hurt my tailbone or over that. And it was, we have snow here and it's kind of back and forth. We used to have snow all the time and now it's like, some winters we do, some we don't. So when we get snow, we get all excited and you want to do everything. And so I hadn't skied. So there's 2 different kinds of cross country skiing. There's like classic and then there's skate skiing. So skate skiing is a little more rigorous, takes a little you got to like kind of know what you're doing. And I was kind of excited to go do it. However, it was before we got a lot of snow. So I went outside and I fed my horses in the barn and it was really icy and hard. And I told my hubby, I think I'm going to go on a little jog and a walk today. I think I'd rather do that because the snow feels really icy and I don't think that's a good idea for me. And he was like, come on, I want to do it together. We're getting like closer to like, he might, retire soon. And we're thinking, what do we like to do together? We like to golf. We like to walk. He doesn't love to walk. So I was like, just sounded like vigorous and like, yes, I can go do this and be like amazing. So we get out there. And it was like being on an ice rink in these slippery, long skis. And if anybody cross country skis, it's not like downhill. I love downhill too, but you can kind of control. It was like ice, sheer hard ice. And you couldn't even catch a glide. Now my husband was able to do it because he's really good and he does it a lot. And it kind of bugged me. And here's the thing. I did it anyway, even though I had no control. I couldn't get my equilibrium. I couldn't get my groove going because it was so icy. And I fell so hard. I swear it like shook my brain. And that hurts on your tailbone. Especially when it's like pure ice. And right before it happened, now he will deny this. My husband was making fun of me. We were kind of mad at each other because he says I don't listen to him, which I don't think that's true. Because he said he was trying to tell me how to do it. I think he was making fun of me. And then I fell. And then I think I maybe cried a little bit. And I was so ticked off. And I took my skis off and I started walking back to where the truck was. And I'm like, you didn't ski, just get away from me. And then I put my skis back on because I was so mad. because this is what my husband kept saying. The conditions are great. These are great conditions. And I'm like, this is ice. Like what? I'm like, you put my skis on. I want you to put my skis on. He couldn't. His boots were too big. But so even though I knew that I shouldn't go out that day, I did. And then I got hurt, which kind of wrecked some of my workouts for the following week or two. So then here I didn't stop. So that I'm like, I'm going to learn how to do this. I can do this. So I'd like, you just go. And I put the skis back on. And I kept going down this flat thing, which was good practice, but I did fall again and it wasn't as bad, but it hurt. And so I got in the car, in the truck, and he came and I felt like I wanted to be mad at him, but I really couldn't be. I was really, really ticked off at myself because I knew that I shouldn't go. And the minute I put my skis on that ice, I knew it was a disaster waiting to happen. And yet I did it. I did it because I wanted to look good, I guess, like cool, like I can do this. I wanted to see maybe if it would work, but I knew. So we have that knowing inside of us. And I can't help but wonder, you guys, you know how this is on my website, that S.O.U.L method, where you do your self-coaching. And I say S.O.U.L because there's 3 things under the S that I'll start with S. So I'm being funny, which I shouldn't try to do because I'm not. But I can't help but wonder if I would have sat down and done my mind work, I don't think I would have gone skiing that day. I wish that I would use it even more than I do, because if I would have, and sometimes we just don't have the time, right? But if I would have just been still, sat in that, and then started with the decision, how did I want to feel? I wanted to feel good, but I wanted to feel good about making the decision that was right for me. And instead, I used the thought, well, this is cool. This is something we can do in the future. I need to go do this. I wasn't looking at, it's icy. I like to work out. I like to walk. I don't want to wreck myself for that. And then what I try to do is surrender things to God kind of all the way through. And then I would have looked at the feeling, like, what am I feeling? And I would have been like, well, I'm feeling like kind of like I'm holding back. Like I don't really want to go. Could have really examined that and then done the thought behind it is so big. The thought behind it is, I want to be a vibrant couple as we age. And I thought going out and doing that would make me vibrant. And folks, it did the opposite. It made me look like a granny. I mean, I think I had everyone over the next day for Christmas, and I couldn't walk around like normal. I wasn't able to hold my grandchildren. I mean, usually that didn't work. And so I think if I could have looked at what I was thinking and really thought hard about, are these the conditions? I did go skiing again after that in the light fluffy snow, even though I was still a little bit sore. But I just took it easy because I wanted to, and I thought through it. But I just think it's so interesting how that mind math, doing that mind math and really looking at what we think, even if we would have done it before that boat in Maui. Now, like I said, it is fun to have those funny memories, and they're still going to come up no matter what. But it does make me stop and contemplate. So much time has been wasted from me going against what I know I should or shouldn't do, and surrendering to God and doing his will, his passion that he's put on my heart, being the person he wants me to be, which matches what I want to be because he's in me. But it's like, there have been so many times in my life wasted on the wrong things, on doing things that don't fill me. And that's not to be mixed up with, if there is like a greater good on the other side. Like, say, here's an example. One of my big things is family and babies, and I want to have the best connection with my grandbabies. So sometimes, like maybe one is sick, and the mama calls me and says, "Can you come and watch the baby?" And I think, I kind of don't want to, because, well, I don't want to get sick, or I may be busy doing something. But if I remember that one of my huge purposes is to have that connection with my grandbaby, I know that I can change my mindset and know, oh, I'm going because I want to take care of them, because I want that connection. And so that's where, if it fits your true purpose, then yes, you need to sometimes give up. We need to serve. I was even saying to my hubby, like, I don't always love to cook. But sometimes he's so appreciative. And honestly, when I know that I'm doing it for him, um, because we can sit down and have a healthy meal, and and he feels so appreciative of it, it makes it more fun to make it, if that makes any sense. So it's kind of like a juggling act, friends. We're all like just kind of getting to know our little brains, which is so fun, and something I want to do way more of in 2026. So come along with me. Let's do it. And what I want y'all to know, I haven't given up on my divorce clients. I am here for you. And if you are a woman 40 plus or around there who's been through a divorce or going through a rough spot in their marriage, there is a school community that you can join, that I am at, coaching you, teaching you every Wednesday at noon. And you can just see in the show notes, I'll have a way to sign up. It is $47 a month, and you get me for an hour every week, and other people can join. It's a positive place where we work on mindset. I'm not a therapist. I'm not your attorney, but I can give you some legal information, and I can help you coach so that you can change that mindset. And when you're going through something hard like divorce, you need community, positive communities surrounding you, and you need your mind right. So I'd love to see you there. Subscribe to this. I'm here for you every week, with new and exciting information, like, why do we do things that go against what we really want? Thanks so much for being here. Have a beautiful week.